So that was Phil Heath. It's now myself. I'm going to give a little presentation. Are you enjoying it so far? Yeah. Excellent, excellent. Thank you. I'm about to ruin it for you. Right, Richard, here we go. When medical students start their course, the lecturer often begins by telling the students in 10 years' time, 50% of what they've learnt on the course will be wrong. I can do better. In 5 minutes' time, everything you have learnt in your life so far will be wrong. Let's start with the dawn of consciousness. We probably sat and watched the setting sun going down night after night and thought, you know, there must be thousands of those suns over the horizon, until one bright spark said, no, wait a minute, perhaps there's only one sun and it's revolving around the Earth, which is at the centre of everything. Well, it must be, mustn't it? Because the Earth doesn't move. And when you look up at the sky, everything else is moving around us. And by the way, it was a myth that anyone ever thought that the Earth was flat. Nobody was ever that ignorant. And then along came Copernicus, and through careful observation he discovered that actually no, the Earth is revolving around the Sun, which meant that a theory had to be amended, which is how science is supposed to work. But in his day there was one slight problem. The spreading of knowledge was very slow. This was largely due to the fact that most knowledge was contained in books, which were hand copied. So if there was an original error in one of the books, it merely got duplicated over the centuries. And the invention of the printing press merely speeded this up. For example, the iron content of spinach was misreported when the typesetters put the decimal point in the wrong place. By the time the error was discovered, the information had escaped into modern folklore. And history is a lot like spinach in that people have a false idea about it. If a ruler won a battle because they were less stupid than their opponent or had dumb luck, they would actually report it in such a way that it made themselves out to appear wiser and stronger than their opponent. And this idea was so good that all leaders decided to adopt it. Propaganda, though, is not interested in expanding knowledge, only in controlling information and influencing those people who receive the information. So verifying any facts is incredibly difficult. And this always assumes that anyone trying to tell the story about the facts is trying to do it as honestly and as objectively as they can. And as we know, some people don't give a toss about honesty and objectivity. For example, how old are you? Your bodily cells are replaced in their entirety every 7 years. Does that mean you can only ever be 7 years old? But the molecules that make up the cells are billions of years old, so are you always as old as the stars? And basic laws of physics break down at the quantum level. Solid matter is more space than solid by a factor of hundreds. And merely observing an event at the quantum level influences it. And it would appear that our universe is expanding at an accelerating rate. Now, with our current level of knowledge, that means 90% of the universe is unaccounted for. We call it dark matter, but we might as well call it no freaking idea. So I'll bring it back to Copernicus, because I don't know if he ever existed or not. I'm told he did by teachers and by books, but as we have seen, they can often be wrong. And in fact, most of the information I've given you in this presentation is based on that source of information. But surely we can trust our eyes. Look at the squares marked A and B. Now A is obviously darker than B. But our eyes make stuff up. Our vision has a blind spot which we don't see because our brain fills in the missing information. In reality, squares A and B are exactly the same colour. It's the way our eyes see patterns that fool us, and even as we're presented with the evidence, our brain attempts to adjust for the illusion. So what are we left with? Just ideas and philosophy? Probably, but that assumes that our brains are in charge. What if it's our bodies that's in charge and merely uses the brain as an organ to achieve its ends? I mean, ask any woman why she needs to buy a pair of impractical shoes and her brain will come up with many reasons, some of which might even make sense. But in reality, it's her body which decides that it wants the shoes and merely tells the brain to figure out the best way of achieving the objective. Which means we have no free will. Some of you will see this woman rotating in a clockwise direction, and others of you will see her rotating in an anti-clockwise one. Now, is that you deciding which way she's spinning, or is it just the materialistic way your neurons are put together, producing a predetermined result? So we can see the more we discover about the world, the more complex it becomes. And if we extrapolate from this position, we can see that eventually we will come to realise that we understand absolutely nothing. So paradoxically, the more intelligent and knowledgeable you are, the more doubtful you are of your own reality. So I'll leave you with a quote from Gloria Steinem. The truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. Thanks very much.